everybody. I am in my room here that is sweetly themed like the Wild West, which is really appropriate for this trip, at the Broken Spur Inn and Steakhouse in beautiful Torrey, Utah, outside of Capitol Reef, and had intended to already be on the road. It's 7 o'clock local time. I was gonna already be done with breakfast and on the road, but it turns out the park cancellation stamp that I missed yesterday at Capitol Reefs, I have to take scenic route 24 to Arches this morning. After talking to the hotel owner, she figured that was the better way to go than work my way north and then east, and it'll shave about a half hour off the drive. So I will get my cancellation stamp, so I figured I'll drag my ass here a little bit this morning and reach out to some loved ones on the computer and upload a few more pictures, and then go through Capitol Reef, get my cancellation stamp, head on to Arches for about a 2.5 hour drive. I should get there right around 10 o'clock and start the day. What else was I going to say? I was going to get into talking about gear on this trip, but that's probably best saved for after the fact. Pretty much all of my gear came from REI. We're big fans of REI, love all their gear. They've pretty much been my outfitter for this trip. Not knowing what I wanted to get, what I would get into and what I would encounter, I came kind of overly prepared to some degree, and I'll talk about what I used, what worked and what didn't, and what I do differently next time, maybe in a different video later. So on to breakfast, and we'll get on the road. Hi guys, still haven't left yet. It is 5 degrees in Torrey this morning, and I am very cold. Just walking to breakfast. I can't feel my hands. Hoping it warms up a bit, or today is going to be mostly in the car. It is the desert, so the temperature should increase pretty dramatically once the sun's up. It's starting to crest over the mesa out the window there, so feeling good about that. Visitor Center doesn't open for another 30 minutes, so I'm about 15 minutes away from Capitol Reef. So I'll probably leave in about 15 minutes. While I'm warming up, drinking a little more coffee, thought I'd talk about how I'm protecting myself out here. First line of defense, the cell phone. I went with Project Fi through Google. Awesome phone service, working on 3 different networks. Defaults to working off Wi-Fi when you have no cell signal. Of course, that doesn't really matter when you're in between Penguich and Torrey and there's no Wi-Fi or cell signal. So if you're out in Utah and you're traversing from one remote town to another, it's not like Arizona where traveling to a remote area, there's lots of little places along the way. I mean, there is nothing along the way and out on some of these roads going through the mountains. So be prepared. Be prepared to survive if your car fails, your lovely shitbox rental car from Hertz. But I wanted to talk about what I thought about in protecting myself coming out here. A good folding knife is good. All of these things, of course, can't bring in the carry-on. You're going to pay for the check bag depending on the airline you're flying. Black bears are indigenous to the area, so I do have a bear bell, which is less likely to spook the bear. They're going to hear you coming, and maybe you may have a chance to be aware and alerted to their presence before you just pop out from behind a tree and there one is. But they're wild animals, so you never know. And if all else fails, I brought a .45 which is legal to carry in all state parks as long as you're responsible, not brandishing your weapon, being crazy. You can't discharge a firearm in the state park unless, again, you're trying to save your life because a bear or a mountain lion's trying to eat you for dinner. But I was really nervous about flying with a firearm. I was a little late to the airport leaving Ohio, and I was like, oh boy, this is going to take forever. And on Frontier anyway, it was really painless. I got a TSA approved lockbox, which was as thin as I could get, so I could put it in my suitcase and not have it as a second checked item, which they would prefer it go in your checked bag, so you want to get something very slim. And I did call TSA to understand the protocol, and I'll share it with you. And that is, if you're flying with a firearm, a handgun anyway, it must be unloaded. You have to have the handgun, the magazine separated in the case, and every bullet must be in its original packaging, or a little plastic box where the primers are not exposed. All three items have to be separate in the box. No one at the ticket counter is going to look at that. They didn't ask me to open it. I just said I would like to declare a firearm. She was like, no problem. Fill out this little orange card, which I may have. And once you fill this card out, you're off to the races. The card basically just says, since they don't really want to look at it, firearms unloaded. I don't know if this shows up when TSA actually scans your suitcase so they can see this is in here. Because if this is not in here and you have a firearm in your bag, you're in a world of hurt. But on the back, you're agreeing that you're only flying domestically, that your firearms are unloaded in a locked, hard-sided case, and that I am the only one holding the key to the case. So that's another big thing. You should be the only one with the key. According to federal law and TSA, the ticket agent, TSA, whoever, should not be asking you to hold your key for you or anything like that. You should have the key. You should have a redundant form of the key. I have one key in my carry-on pack and one on my keychain from home. That way if I lost it and they wanted to examine it. But basically in Ohio, my checked bag with the gun case went right into TSA's scanner right at the ticket counter, and they need to be able to visualize the gun, the bullets, and the magazine separately on x-ray. And I stood there while they scanned it, and they were like, you're good to go, and off I went. So that's that. So I'm gonna throw my stuff in the car and we'll head over to Capitol Reef for real this time. Here's another helpful travel tip out here. The gas station right next to the Broken Spur where I'm staying there, it's almost 8 in the morning, and it's still closed. And I didn't drive into Torrey the other direction to try to find another one. There's a gas station. Oh, look at this sunrise. On the way over to Capitol Reef here down the hill. So I'm hoping they're open, because I had a full tank. Like, every time you stop out here, fill the tank. Look at those mountains, holy cow. Just fill the tank, because you go from Panguitch to Torrey, a little below half a tank of gas, and I don't know what I'll encounter on the way to Arches. I presume something, but in this kind of cold, it's now 6 degrees. Don't want to chance it at all. Always filling the tank whenever I encounter a gas station, just to do it. And hopefully the one down here is open. Beautiful red rocks gleaming with sunlight as the sun crests over the horizon here. feeling really gracious right now. Good old Petro USA outside Capitol Reefs has one 24-hour pay at the pump. So we'll fill up like in this sweet little old Jeep here. Trip that everything is, I'm just looking out and everything is just happening in my favor at the right time. This view, as best you can make out, I mean, I'm coming down 24 into Capitol Reef, and the sun is just cresting over onto the rock faces. Just this brilliant orange. So I'm gonna keep the tape rolling. There's Chimney Rock in the distance that I pointed out yesterday. Look at that. And we're already back at the entrance. So jealous of the folks that live in the area. I mean, to be able to come out and hike these trails in the evening after work would just be incredible. I appreciate where I come from, but this is just so unusual and so diverse of terrain. Day and do something different and see something you've never seen before. It's just so cool. Looks like just from last night, Chimney Rock, which is the spire right here, got some snow all over the top, and this face of it finally got shielded from the sun for a couple minutes. There's Chimney Rock again. I get around this bend, we'll see the castle one more time. Capitol Reef Visitor Center. Made it here. Best part is I got my park cancellation stamps for Capitol Reef in my passport book. Probably won't end up with one for Bryce because the visitor center was closed, and I'm probably not going back that way, but I'm not sure yet. You know, you look at one way to go and then end up going another way. I'm never quite sure where my travels will take me on this journey out here, so might end up with one in the end. So on to Arches. Driving at Capitol Reef, here's the sun coming back again. This is the road I came down yesterday. It forks off the other direction back where I was off-roading the combat shitbox here. But this way I ended up turning around after I passed all the scenic viewpoints. This is the Fruta district again, where all the orchards that have been here for years are. In the warmer months you can come through here and actually pick fruit off the fruit trees, and there's a donation box on the honor system, and enjoy fresh fruit. I don't know of many national parks where you can do that. It's pretty cool. We have stuff like that back east, but you have to pay more for it. There's the Fruta Schoolhouse again. And right around the way here, we'll pass the petroglyph walk, which I walked up to it yesterday. Here's the sign here. There's a little boardwalk that takes you out to some viewing binoculars to look right up, but the petroglyph boardwalk actually goes all the way down here for quite a ways, so you can get up a little bit closer to the rocks and see all that. There's Capitol Dome in front of me. I think this is an apricot orchard. I could be way off base. I swore I read that sign somewhere. And right around the bend here, we'll come back to where I was yesterday, walking around the Hickman Bridge Trail. Excuse me. And the Fremont River is running right here down past the trailhead. There's the Hickman Bridge trailhead. Capitol Dome right up in front of me. Looks like got some snow back here last night as well. Driving on my way out of Capitol Reef, I looked over and saw this and had to get a closer look. It's like almost sand here. It's like a little mini cave with a room of little crevices. See how high my stick will go up. It's pretty neat. Probably the absolute worst spot to turn off the road. But there's no one really out here yet. This is the back half of the park that leading out east that I had turned around before this to drive through the wash. Little cabin on the side of the road. If nothing else, the drive through here, aside from all the scenic viewpoints and things to check out, I mean, the drive is just so much fun with these winding roads weaving around through the rocks. The best investment I got for the GoPro 5 was this dual battery charger. When you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're wanting to take shots, it's easy to go through your battery, and then you can just charge one while you're using the other. The sun is super bright right here. The 24 is oddly, I believe, 24 miles to the end of Capitol Reef, and I'm nearing the end now. I'm about 20 miles from the park entrance. Totally different color scheme here. Every hill you go over on the back half of Capitol Reef is just something just explodes in your face. It's completely different than what you were just looking at. The formations, the colors, everything is different around every turn. And it's, if you haven't been out here, which this is my first time, it just, you know, makes your spine tingle to see such monumental formations that are just so cool to look at. it's kind of sad at the same time to think that, you know, their beautiful shapes have been formed by wind blasting against them and flash flooding. And, you know, another towering rock I just came across out in the middle of the desert. And looks like some more up here. I'm nearing Green River now, on the way to Arches. See those huge mountains out my rearview mirror. Really pretty. Red rocks out in front of me. You see about 50 miles in every direction from where I am right now. Got my ice block of Diet Coke here. Stamina to get me throughout the rest of the morning. Route 24, about 84 miles from Arches National Park Visitor Center. 24 is really nice. Once you get out of Capitol Reef, it's super flat. I'm doing about 100 miles an hour right now. Mountains way off in the distance there with little mesas around me, and not much of anything. Kind of like the route to Torrey, there is I had no cell service for the majority of that 100-mile trek. I have none right now. Turned off of 24 onto 70, I-70. I'm 52 miles from Arches now. And there's a huge array of mountains out in front of me. Still quite a ways off in the distance. They look a lot bigger to the eye than I'm sure they do on this video, but about 48 minutes and we'll be there.